Good evening, and welcome to a Loaded Mag Roundup. Unfortunately, it's going to be about half an hour short tonight. We have put plenty of content out there for you this week, but we just wanted to round everything off. What's been a fantastic first window for Newcastle so far, and it's looking ever optimistic by the minute. So tonight I'm joined by Mark. Unfortunately, Daz is on babysitting duty. Pete's having a night off because he's done 4 podcasts 4 nights in a row, so he's just having a little bit of a breather. And Chris is still on the sick. So, either that or he's got another round to collect tonight, so we'll just have to wait and see. But how are you, Mark?
I'm good, mate. Chris is probably doing Christmas returns, I'd say. That's what's wrong there.
Possibly, aye. Yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it?
Picking up returns,
he's been sending out the wrong scent and stuff like that.
He has, yeah. He's trying to get Hermes to sort out all his dodgy returns of false aftershaves and facial creams and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. As you said, we weren't really going to do anything. And then I was at work. You were kind of working away. And the two of us went, will we do a show tonight? Just kind of rounded up. And Daz was like, oh, lads. And we were like, go on, we'll do it for half an hour. Because really we'd nothing better to do. So yeah, so here we are. So let's crack on. We have got a guest.
We thought we'd better bring a guest in really because our crack's a bit crap, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it can be. Although I think it's still better than Daz and the boys. But anyway, look, we'll crack on. Well,
and it's that time of the month again where we've got our fantastic sponsor, the lovely Bronwyn, who's joining us tonight.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
We're good. It's been a great week so far. We know you've had a great week because you've been sunning up in Tenerife. So.
Oh yeah, it was a week ago now, though. Like literally, it's already been a week. Got it.
Yeah, like you didn't need posting all those pictures, rubbing it in when That's what I said to you before you came on. Like you were whacking all those pictures up, making everyone jealous. It's nice and warm here, and everyone else back home in Newcastle and here in Ireland, we're going, whatever.
Well, it's okay because Daz has arranged a punishment for later on at the end of the show.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, he's got a little football quiz question section for you.
Oh, fantastic! I think I'm prepared today. Actually, I feel prepared today.
Do you?
Ready for it?
Oh, very good. Good. All right. Well, look, we'll crash on. Bronwyn, feel free to add in to comment and stuff when we chat about topics. We know the first time you came on, you said you didn't really know anything about football, but we now know that's been established as being a big white lie. So we know you can add in, so you won't get no freedom tonight. So, right, Richie, where are we going first, lad?
Well, it's a bit obvious, really, isn't it, where we're going to start tonight. 8:00 this morning, the club revealed our first transfer of the new regime, and Eddie Howe's finally reunited with Kieran Trippier. 2.5-year deal with the option of an extra year on top if the player wants it. 12 million plus add-ons is the deal, rumoured to be just over 100k a week. He's interviewed today. He said that he's moved for family reasons. Mainly wants to challenge himself again. Loves the idea of the project, and money isn't an issue. And to be fair, I actually got to agree with him on that one, Mart. I don't think the money is the issue because he could have gone anywhere and probably got more money than what Newcastle. Because Man United was still in for him in the summer. So I actually believe him on that one. I think it was the attraction of coming back up north, working with Eddie Howe again. And he wanted to challenge himself with a fantastic project and opportunity that he's going to have at Newcastle. So, is that your way of thinking as well, mate?
Yeah, I watched the interview. Obviously, delighted that we've obviously got first sign on board. We said that last night when we were doing the transfer show. And if you haven't watched that show, get on it after this. Seems we're only on for the half hour, and have a watch back of that if you got time at the weekend, because it was a cracker of a show. With Jordan and with Lee Davey and the rest of us last night. But yeah, I think it's great to have first signing over and kind of done first week to get somebody of his quality, England international. And I thought the interview was really, really, really good, really down to earth, quite honest. And I think, is he getting a decent pay packet? Of course he is. But I think, he spoke quite a lot in the interviews I've seen so far about his wife, the kids, resettling back, wanting to be in the north. Obviously admitted there was interest elsewhere. So, we know that there was. But yeah, look, it's a great deal for us. And I think, as he said, he'll be a leader on and off the pitch. And I think he's the first one in to hopefully bolster that defence and give us a bit more, a sturdier ship. If we can secure a few more, I think it'll be good. So yeah.
Yeah, well,
sorry.
Go on, Bronwyn. Sorry, go on.
I was saying we got him for quite cheap though. Like I wasn't expecting it to only be 12 million.
Yeah, I think everybody's been a bit shocked by how little the transfer is up front. I think everybody was, the rumours were going around 25, 30 million. I think there's rumours going around, it could be up to 25, but then there was the other rumour this morning that it can only rise to 14 million, which I was shocked about as well. So, but whatever it is, even at 25 million, I still think that's a cracking deal for him. And when we talked about it a few weeks ago, we were thinking 25 million for England Internationals was a great deal anyway. So if it is cheaper than that, it's a fantastic deal. One thing he did put on his own Twitter today was he was so happy to be joining Newcastle. Everyone knows the fans are unbelievably passionate, and I'll give my absolute all for them. I can't wait to get to work. Thank you to everyone at NUFC and the fans for the very warm welcome I've received so far. What have you made of it, Bronwyn? Then what's your thoughts on the Kieran Trippier transfer?
I'm buzzing, mate. Like how unreal is that? Like I tweeted the day that, like watching when we're England, obviously, and he scored against Croatia. Like, imagine back then, someone went, we're going to sign Trippier in a couple of years. Like, I certainly wouldn't believe it. Like, someone put as well, like, it literally, like, with the whole January transfer window, like, I feel like I've never properly experienced it like this. And someone was like, it's like deadline day every day. Like, it's mad. Like, loving it.
It's like making up for the last 14 years of not having any in the last couple of days, isn't it? Just alone.
Yeah, and everyone hates it. It's great.
Exactly.
I know.
There's plenty of fume going on.
Yeah, we might touch on that at the end if we've got a little bit more time. But another good thing we noticed on Twitter as well, and I think everybody saw it as well, was the fact that one of the owners actually came out and welcomed them to the team as well. And it was, I thought the key word in this one was welcome to the family, Kieran, onwards and upwards. The fact that all the way from the owners down to probably the tea lady at the training centre, everyone's classed as a family member now. It's not just us or them or whatever. And, the directors are going to keep themselves to themselves like they did within the last regime. I thought that was a really fantastic comment. We didn't upload the one that me and Dad also said to Atletico Madrid. We replied to them, which we thought Martin commented in our WhatsApp chat. He thought was a really class little touch, which we all agreed on. So, Martin, obviously we're looking at the Trippier one there. What sort of difference do you think he's going to make to our team?
I think that leadership. Look, he's a quality player. He's a great defender. You don't win, the trophies. He won La Liga, to such a point when he went to Atletico Madrid. Simeone changed the style of play to accommodate playing with wing-backs. As I said last night in the show, he's been playing that position, but also further up as well, like quite a higher position up the pitch on that right-hand side. So, look, it's a position we've lacked in. We know we're lacking defensively. So, I listened to the interviews this morning. One of the first things I tweeted out was, now there's my captain. Anybody that watches knows I don't have that much time for Jamal Lascelles. Not him as an individual, just I don't believe he's captain credible. So I think I'm looking forward to seeing Kieran coming in and a bit more leadership and a bit more control on that back, maybe calm things down and tell players when they need to in that back line, get their bloody fingers out, because I think we've lacked that. There's no, the amount of games we've seen this season and we've had decisions go against us. And I've said, I've never seen our captain or anybody else, go and get stuck into the referee or an opposing player or anything else. So for me, I'm hoping that, as he said, he's up for the fight and he's willing to, give it his all. So if he does that wearing a black and white shirt, we'll all be happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I noticed, and I think I haven't really touched on it yet, is his versatility as well. We've just discussed there. He can play like right back. He can also play right of a back three as well. He's done that for England, but he's also played left back as well. So he pretty much can play anywhere along the back line as well. I still think I would be keeping him as a right back or a right wing back. Would you agree with that, Bronwyn?
Yeah, definitely. I think you'd know better than me for that, though. Like,
reading
the comments.
Are you just proving your football knowledge again there, are you? Just agree with the old fogies.
CFC, we must give another shout out, another donation tonight. Thanks very much, pal. We do appreciate it. Every show we put on, he drops something into the pot. And he said he loves the beanie that he got. Yeah. Excellent quality. We had a cold spell here in sunny Florida, so loving it. So fair play, CFC. Thanks, pal. We much appreciate it.
You can't get better than that for your word of mouth advertising, can you, Bronwyn?
No, exactly. There you go.
International, man. Unreal.
Exactly. There you go. International NUFC brand. What more can you ask for, Bronwyn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. One quick thing I do want to mention. We tried a little bit, something a little bit different this evening. So if you are following Loaded HQ, you will see it may have popped up on your timeline. We are actually going out live on Twitter as well. So we're broadcasting to both YouTube and Twitter.
What, right now?
Yeah, supposedly so. Pete and the boys have checked it. Apparently, it did pop up on people's timelines. So yeah, we can. There's a few new bits and pieces on StreamYard, and one of those is an enablement to allow us to go live elsewhere. So we have activated that. So if you are watching, please do me and Richie a favor. Check your Twitters, check Loaded HQ, and see can you see us and are we going out loud and clear? Because it's the first time we've done it. Pete says it's working. He's watching. He's just switched over to YouTube. But check it out. If it's working, let us know what you think. And we'll keep it going if it's working well. There you go.
It is. There we go. First-hand knowledge from Bronwyn. I'll tell you what's better than watching it on Twitter? Switch over to YouTube. Yeah. Give the show a like. Subscribe for free. That's what we're all here about. You know what I mean? This is why we give it our time every night this week. Pretty much we've given it our time for the channel. So, as I'm saying, there is a membership option, but we don't charge for this. Do you know what I mean? If you want to become a member, that's great. You know, it helps us put the great content that we've been doing. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to, that's fine. We'll still put the fantastic content out there, and we'll still try and get all the guests that we've been getting, like Kieran Maguire this week. Obviously, John was on last week. We've got a special guest on Monday, which we'll touch on at the end, Sean Casey, the man in the know. And we've also got lined up another. I think we'll not say who it is yet, but we have actually got another NUFC legend who will be joining us next Friday. Is it, Martin?
Next Friday, the 15th. Yeah. I mean, look, we can pop that out on Monday, or we can pop it out now as a bit of an exclusive if you want.
It's completely your call, mate. Well, you were the one that reached out. So
hang on,
what
Bronwyn.
You should do is you'll find out at the end of this. They have to listen.
I wasn't going to put it straight out now. See, you've been watching these shows. You're learning. It's great. Right, Richie. Will we do while Bronwyn's on? We know, obviously, we bring her on as often as we can, and when she's not on Celebrity Cruise and stuff all over the world. So we do have a members prize draw tonight. So will we do that? And then the lovely Bronwyn can tell us how they can get in touch with her and what their possible prize may be. So we certainly can. Now, as we know, Daz does all things technical regards the show. And unfortunately, Daz isn't with us today. So what he does, he couldn't be left out. He didn't want to give up his baby of the spinny wheel that he's always had since day one of Loaded Football Weekly at the start of the year. So he sent us a nice little video just for your benefit because he didn't trust me or Martin with it. That's basically that's how it comes down to it. So here we go. Here's Daz's pre-recorded spin of the wheel.
Hello and welcome to the Loaded HQ member draw. Sorry I can't be with you guys tonight. You're all looking lovely, I'm sure. It is 1:10 in the afternoon on Friday, the 7th of January 2022. So yes, time to spin that wheel. We have 35 members in the draw. Keep the membership coming in, join, and you get to get your name on this wheel. So let's spin and win. Let's see who's the winner this time. Here we go. And the winner is Tony Finlay. Congratulations, Tony. Richie, you'll get your details and we'll get that prize out to you via Bronwyn. Thanks for joining and take care, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Chat soon.
Do you know what I love, Martin, right? He gets all the credit for spinning wheel. Goes, it's all right, Rich will deal with it at the end.
No, he's like, I've created this. It's really good. Look at me while I'm the center of attention with my spinny wheel thing. And then he just goes, yeah, but I'm not sorting the rest out.
I know.
You're exactly right. But he's like,
but I think what we've got to say is Tony Finley.
Well done,
fantastic for being a member to start with. Well done for this this month's prize draw. Reach out to myself, Martin, or Bronwyn directly if I don't know whether you're going to contact there on Twitter, and we can sort out getting your prize over. Bronwyn, have you decided what this month's prize is yet?
Since it's still a bit chilly, it's going to be one of the beanie hats because I've got the black and white ones. Some of them are left. So, like, some of them have come back. So you can have either black or white beanie hat. Because the bubble hats have sold out now, so.
Cool. That's always good to hear. But, Tony, well done, mate. As I said, reach out and then you can choose which colour of the bubble hat, say the beanie hat that you want. Right. So, it's up to you, Bron, when you can stay with us for the last 15 minutes of the show. And see, I thought you were going to try and get out of it because of the football section.
I thought you'd be gone like a shot going, right, hang on, I'm getting back online. I need another whole leaf of February. Right.
I think we'll move on to the next part of the transfer saga today as well, which was the fact that we've also supposedly put in a revised bid for Sven Botman. And it's rumoured to be about 35 million euros. And, you know, I know me and Martin and Pete are huge fans of Sven Botman. And it's you know, the players actually apparently is fancying the move as well. There was an interesting picture on Instagram, which was picked up by some Newcastle fans today, where a mop-up picture of himself in Newcastle top. And if Martin, if you move that comment just a minute, and you can just be able to see it right at the bottom, I'll probably have to remove the banner as well.
Yeah, I'll take it off. Yeah, 2 seconds.
You can see right at the bottom, it was liked by the Sven Botman as well. So I tell you what, if that is not a sign that the player wants to come and play for Newcastle, I don't know what is, Martin.
No, listen, we spent a good deal of time last night talking about this guy. As far as I know, and obviously a few people that we've been chatting with today, that improved bid's gone in. It is close to 40 million euros. Watching Sky that was on here behind me, they're saying that, you know, Milan is still an option. Lille don't need to sell. He's still tied down to 3 years of his contract, etc., etc. But certainly from what we were hearing yesterday, we knew that improved bid had gone in. We knew the price that had gone in. What we do know as well is that Lille is skint and do have some financial worries. So it is one that we believe quite firmly will happen. So let's see. Yeah, look, if we get him, I mean, he's built for the Premiership. You know, the age and even at that, even if it costs us 35, 40 million euro, you know, look, we said on the show, he's potentially a centre-back like a Vincent Kompany had for Man City for the next 10 years. So go out, get him, get the deal done. Let's get the lad in. Absolutely. Yeah, can't wait. If that happens, I'll be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, he's an exceptional talent. And I think the fact that he's actually put those out, he wants to come to join the club as well. You know, Lille might not want to sell him. When a player starts to turn around and says he wants to go, you know, you're pretty much forcing the club's hand at the end of the day that do you want to keep a player that's unhappy just because it suits the club to possibly make more money in the summer by having a bidding war or something like that. But I think it's a fantastic sign and should we get over the line. Bronwyn, do you know much about Sven Botman from what you've seen?
I don't know who he is, if I'm honest. Like, obviously I do now since people have mentioned him and stuff. But I know that, you know, the picture you put up, I think Wijnaldum's liked it as well. I'm sure I've seen that before.
I don't know if I don't know if it's on there, but
I've seen something on Twitter that he apparently liked it after, and everyone was like going wild about that. I think it was just not long ago either. But like, are you open to Wijnaldum coming back?
I think we touched on it a little bit last night, didn't we, Mark, in the transfer show?
Yeah.
It's one of those where I think you'd have him back because of the experience, in the Premier League, Champions League. He's an international still. He'll want to be playing regular because of the World Cup next year as well. Obviously, with Botman coming in as well, he's a Dutch teammate of his as well, if he was to come in as well. And he knows Newcastle as well. He still loved the club. He didn't really want to go, but obviously the relegation and then offer from Liverpool came in. Turned his head and he went to Liverpool, another fantastic club, similar to Newcastle. I think I would have him back. I don't know if it's going to be something that'll happen. I think, as we said last night at the start, when it might be something that happens at the end of the window, depending on how things are at PSG. But it could be one that happens in the summer as well. I don't know what you think on that, Mark.
I'm still holding out for Jack Wilshere, mate. I said it last night. I'm not shouting for anybody else. I want that midfield of Aaron Ramsey and Jack Wilshere back. No, look, seriously. The only reason I keep talking about Wilshere is because there has been chat about it, and it's going to come back to bite me in the arse. But yeah, look, I mean, he'd massively improved the team. He knows the club, knows the fans. So yeah, would you take him back? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. Is it one that I think will get done? No, I think I still believe we'll see Ramsey in a black and white shirt. There's more talk on that again today. That looks like that deal is close. As you know, Pete Graves said yesterday, there's about 4 or 5 kind of names that the irons are in the fire. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that 4 or 5. Eddie Howe today on the presser was asked the question by Keith Downey, I think, listening to the voices on it. And he said, I am expecting there to be at least 4 or 5 coming through the door. So, look, I think we know that people are working on it. Everybody will go down this road of going, oh well, it's massive money, and Ramsey's on whatever in thing. But again, we said this last night. If we can get players that improve what's currently on that pitch and bolster the squad and give us a fighting chance of staying up there this season, I'll take anybody. And if that was Jack Wilshere, I'd take him on the pay-as-you-play, same as we did with Andy Carroll. He'd fill the squad. He'd bolster the squad. Okay, we got to get rid of some as well. But yeah, absolutely, I would take a few more.
I've had a bet on Oxlade-Chamberlain since last year.
He's another one. Do you know what it is? I would love him.
Mm-hmm. At least, obviously, Perry's from Little Mix and from up here. They've just had a baby. It just all makes sense.
Yeah.
I say she's following the links there. She's she's using her head, isn't she?
Yeah, I'll tell you, we're getting to a point now. I did say to her when we first started, at some point during our Loaded Mag life, we're going to have to give her a half-hour show. Say it to her. But yeah, all right, Richie, look, let's move on. We've got a few minutes left. So
I think what we'll do is we'll just touch on it because it was brought up before. Just wanted to catch Martin and Bronwyn's thoughts on Ralph Hasenhüttl's comments today about any potential new players that any team that have had a game postponed that are signed in January to not be eligible to play in the rearranged fixture when it comes about. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's just sour grapes, if I'm honest, because it's common knowledge we're going to have a lot stronger squad by the time it gets rearranged. We'll probably have more people available back from injury as well. I don't think Wilson will probably be there by the sounds of what his injury is going to be like, but you might have some other members back. But at the end of the day, the Premier League rules that was arranged at the start of the season, it said for COVID and injury, if you didn't have so many players, that the game would be postponed. The games were postponed with plenty of notice as well for both Everton and for the Southampton games, unlike some of the games which were called off a couple of hours before kickoff, which was wasn't called for the travelling fans. So at least we did things properly. If they don't like it, they don't like it. That's what I think. But what do you reckon, Mart?
Yeah, do you know what? I've taken a little bit of flack on Twitter tonight because I posted up and said he was a bell end. Maybe that was a little bit immature, but I think it was a very good comment in my own personal style. Look, The best tweet I've actually seen today was somebody, don't mind my child in the background looking for a drink. I do apologise.
It's like that when someone was on the news presenting and the bear was in the background and they were like, get away.
He does know all those words.
Oh, bless him.
That back in the fridge. Right, Dad's on the telly. Go on, quick.
Was that a glass of white light that you've just given him there, Mart?
It is, yeah. It's going to help him sleep, yeah. Parenting 101. If anybody needs any tips, DM me and I'll help you out if you've got young kids. Yeah, look, I mean, it's a stupid comment, but the best tweet I seen today was somebody saying that Southampton have put a bid in for Doc Brown to get the car to go back to the future so that they can rearrange everything. So, look, it's a nonsense comment. Players are going to be signed. Newcastle will buy players. Are we buying players to get ourselves out of relegation zone? Of course we are. Well, like, what do people think we're going to do? What, like, people saying, well, you're trying to buy the league title. What did Man City do? 4 league titles out of 5 years, likely to be a 5th this year running. Pretty much the league is done by January. So listen. We've had 14 years of crap, and we'll very quickly digest. And what I would say is my heart tonight goes out to Derby fans, because if anybody's seen Sky or Twitter, you will know that the dreaded Mr. Ashley has supposedly bid to take over at Derby for 50 million. So if you are, not that there's likely to be many Derby fans watching, but if you are, or somebody that is a Derby fan, you need to start those boys on the right trail to make sure that doesn't happen. But
to be fair on that point though, like, I totally agree, it's an absolute nightmare. But I seen a tweet and I totally agree with it. Like, he would balance the books out and probably get them out of a difficult financial situation. Absolutely. And then from there, he can like bugger off. But obviously, it's not the best.
Yeah, exactly. But it'll be
I think the Derby fans are just going to have to get used to having Sports Direct Park rather than Pride Park.
Yeah.
And finding out in the books that the stadium sponsorship was £1,000 per year or something like that, because we know what he's like for his advertising costs.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think it's one of those things. Managers are going to moan. David Moyes was on moaning there tonight, saying he agrees with Southampton's manager. Look, whatever happened, we were going to get fumed tonight. We were going to get the same. Any players we sign, it's we've seen it all. We've seen all the things that are said and done. So let it rock on. Doesn't bother me in the slightest.
So we're coming to the last few minutes of the show. The last talking point that we're actually going to mention, it's just a brief one. Tomorrow is the start of the FA Cup for the Premier League and Championship teams, and we've been fortunate to have a home draw, a favourable draw as well. We've got Cambridge United travelling up to play at St James Park. It hasn't been chosen for TV for some reasons. There's a couple where there's a few all Premiership teams that have been picked for TV, which I think is disgraceful. Bear in mind, they'll probably mix their squads up about a bit because of the COVID and stuff like that and give other people around. So it would have been a much better spectacle seeing Cambridge run out at Newcastle, but so be it. I think we'll just have a quick little roundup on the predictions. I think one thing is, I've seen quite a lot on Twitter from Cambridge fans and Newcastle fans, really, really amicable over the last few days, welcoming the Cambridge fans up. You know what I mean? It's going to be a fantastic day out for them, because it's not these sort of every day that they get to visit stadiums like St James's Park. So I just hope any Cambridge fans watching, I hope you enjoy the day tomorrow. I don't think you'll get a result, but I think that's I'll be honest on that one. I think the atmosphere will be fantastic. And I think obviously with Trippier coming, I think that'll just give it a boost to the team, whichever team Eddie Howe puts out. And I think it's a competition that we'd like to try and focus on as well. It'd be nice to have a little run in there. So I'm probably going to go for something like I'll say 3-0. What about you, Mart?
I'll go 2-0. I think Trippier will come on at some point. I'm not sure he'll start, but I think he'll come on. He'll definitely be on the bench. I think he's, again, looking at the interviews today, he's mad to play. And why wouldn't he get out in front of a sold out crowd? And fair play, like you said, fair play to the Cambridge fans, bringing a massive away crowd, and I'm sure they'll make plenty of noise. So yeah, let's hope it's a really good cup game, but we win.
Well, that's it. That's the fantastic thing about this. It's Newcastle fans, 52,000 sellout for a third round cup tie against Cambridge United. When was the last time Cambridge United played at a stadium full with that amount of supporters? I think it's absolutely fantastic. Bronwyn, what's your thoughts on the game tomorrow?
3-1. But I'm going tomorrow because obviously I'm buying tickets as and when now. But like I couldn't believe they're sold out. Like unreal.
I think it's fantastic.
It's
you
so
know,
good.
with I think is it right, man? With the FA Cup ticket sales, it gets halved between both teams. Is that right? So
yeah,
it's
normally a percentage. So no,
Yeah.
I've seen ones. There was some a few seasons back where sometimes if you had the big, if a big team went to an away gate, they were kind of handing the money over and stuff. I think Spurs did it when they played a couple of seasons ago when Bale first came back. So yeah,
because they used to originally when the minnows got the home tie, they tried to swap the venues, didn't they? Because they would get more money off the takings and stuff like that. But I know sometimes that some of the boards of these teams now like the home draw for their own fans, and 9 times out of 10 they do get picked for TV money, don't they? For TV, so that brings a bit more of a windfall to it as well.
Yep.
That's pretty much the roundup show done. We said half an hour. We've just got over by a minute. So, but just a quick little thing before we go, while we've got Bronwyn here. Bronwyn, rather than have us plug your brand for a change, why don't you plug your brand for a change?
Oh, good idea. Well, thank you very much for always talking so highly of it. Like, you are honestly the best. Like, everyone always says on Twitter as well how amazing you are, and I couldn't agree more. Like, and my dad said before I come on here, he was like, "Will you let them know I've said hello?" So I think he's watching. So
hey, Bronwyn's dad. Hope you're well.
But yeah, so Black and White Armies, obviously, I'm not going to talk about 1892 because that's last year now. But Black and White Armies, all the limited edition, everything sold on the website is going to the NUFC food bank. There's a new branding coming out in the next couple of months, and I'm thinking about keeping this limited edition going then. But obviously, I'm just thinking about it at the minute. But have a browse. There's many things that have been sold out that aren't on there anymore. Obviously, these guys promote it all the time for me, and you get a prize if you sign up as one of their members. Couldn't thank you enough. Like, you are absolutely amazing.
No, it's been good. Listen, we said early on we were delighted to nab you and have you as one of the main sponsors. And it's great to see things going well and stuff selling out. So from our perspective, listen, thanks very much for sponsoring us and being part of the channel. And it's always good to have you on and do stuff.
As Bronwyn touched on just there, which we said about the membership draws. If anyone isn't a member, and you would please consider it. $1.99 a month. You do get to especially little perks, as we mentioned, the prize draw there. We are going to start looking at doing other little things as well. As we get as the channel grows even more. We're really, really close to 2,000 subscribers now. So if you're not already, if you've liked the shows over the last week that we've put out, then you still haven't subscribed. It's free. Just it really helps the channel grow even more. And as we said, we've been having some fantastic views over the last week or so with the content that's been going out there. If anyone's missed the content that's been out there this week, as we said, we've had a busy week this week. Tuesday, we had the fantastic Kieran Maguire, who came on the show and talked all things FFP and broke down everything that you want to know about it, how it's going to affect Newcastle in the transfer window, and one good thing that everyone took from it, he explained it in layman's terms. So every Joe blogs who you don't have to be, someone in investments or banking or any of that to understand. He put it down so that everyday Joe blogs could actually understand it. That's one of the reasons why it was such a fantastic show. And we were engrossed, and we could have kept it going for another hour on top of that. But fortunately, Kieran has agreed to come back and do another show at some point. Could be the end of the window once we know how much the spending costs have been, how that's going to affect us, or we might wait till the summer. And obviously, when there's another window open up there as well, where we know where we're going to be in the league, which league we're going to be. Obviously, touch wood, it's still the Premier League, but so there's plenty of options to come on. He's agreed to come on, so that is something that will definitely happen. Wednesday night, so the away days with Pete, and we had Under the Abbey Stand podcast join him to preview the Cambridge game tomorrow. And then last night, we had the marathon that was known as the Fully Loaded Transfer Show, where we were joined by Jordan Cronin of Newcastle World. A fantastic show. It's got fantastic views already. If you're wanting to look at any little rumour that Newcastle have had over the last week to 2 weeks, it doesn't matter how big or small it's been. We've covered lots of different players that have been linked. Some that haven't been linked, and we've also put some player profiles in there for anyone you're uncertain of that possibly could be joining the club in this window. As Martin mentioned, we do have a special guest on Monday. Martin, do you want to explain a little bit more about the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Casey?
Yeah, so obviously, probably plenty of people know him from Twitter. He's had the whole fake person accusations and everything else. But we're going to put that to the test on Monday night. So, 8 o'clock Monday night, Sean will be joining us. Will he have any news? Will he have any inside info? Is he real? Is he not? You'll have to join. You'll have to hit that button, hit the likes and subscribe, and join us on Monday night as we meet up with Sean and see what's going on with Newcastle United.
Well, if his last tweet before he put out before we actually went live was anything to go by, it could be a very, very interesting show. If you haven't seen the tweet, give him a follow. There's some fantastic names being linked there, and obviously that I'm sure no doubt will get discussed on Monday night. And that's it, guys. That's a busy week for Loaded, all rounded off. So we may be back over the weekend. We don't know, depending on we might do a review show of the match tomorrow. We don't know, depends on everyone's availability. If there's a siren comes up, which might happen over the weekend, we'll see if we can jump on and do a player special for 15, 20 minutes or something like that. But obviously no promise depending on what commitment, and we wouldn't mind a little break occasionally and stuff like that. So, but in all seriousness, it's been a fantastic week. Thank you very much for joining us on this Friday night. Nice short and sweet episode. And we hope you all have a fantastic weekend and enjoy the FA Cup game tomorrow if you're going, and hopefully it goes well. So, Martin, thanks for joining us, mate. Bronwyn, always a pleasure. We'll see you next month on the show.
Yeah.
We will. Just to go back, Richie, just before Bronwyn did say keep it to the end. So this day next week, for those people who are hitting the button and subscribing, join us this day next week for a very, very special guest with our next Legends episode, where we will be joined by the one and only Gavin Peacock. So join us for that as we reminisce about NUFC, days gone by, his thoughts on NUFC now, the Legends, and everything else. So absolutely looking forward to having Gavin on next week. So join us over the week. Join us for all the shows. Hit those likes and subscribe. Somebody just put in the chat, we're only 30 away from 2K. So come on, boys and girls, hit that subscribe button. Get us to break that the weekend, and we'll see you next week on the shows. And we look forward to seeing Gavin this day next week.
Yep, certainly will. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. All the best, and have a good weekend.
How?
Bye.
How?